His 50 States album project might have been a crazy dream, but one thing remains true. We want whatever music this artist will grace us with. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down the top 10 Sufjan Stevens songs.
So we have sparks, wrestled and raged. I can tell you, I love her each day.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at any song this gifted musician has put out.
Or the 4th of July, we're all gonna die.
Number 10, Futile Devices. An incredible love song, Futile Devices is an exploration of figuring out how to determine what kind of love you have for a person.
I do love you.
Whether it's romantic or familial, it can be hard to externalize and verbalize what you feel inside. His lyrics, ironically, capture that dilemma, calling words futile devices, the perfect descriptor.
And I was very long.
The limitations of words may be the subject of the song, but his words resonate. A remix of the song was later used on the Call Me By Your Name soundtrack in addition to his other songs.
I do love you.
Number 9, Flint, for the Unemployed and Underpaid. Not many of Stevens' songs are overly political, but this song feels like the closest he's come.
Driving to the riverside.
The town of Flint, Michigan is the song's subject as he laments the hopelessness many of the town's residents feel. Written long before the lead in the water there became a national crisis, he describes a dying town long removed from its glory days during the boom of the automobile industry.
I pretend to try.
The repetition of the line, "Even if I died alone," makes him sound resigned to his fate, just as many in the town may feel. It's deeply empathetic and moving.
Even if I died alone.
Number 8, Should Have Known Better. Written after the death of his mother, Carrie, this song explores his grief and his inability to process it initially.
I should have run a letter, and grief would have happened to grief.
Rather than creating a mournful lament, it is more upbeat than you'd expect. The strummed and picked acoustic guitars accentuates his vocals and makes the song feel more buoyant than it might have otherwise.
I'm light as a feather, I'm bright as the organ breeze.
Some of the details in the lyrics, like "she left us at the video store," create more depth and backstory in one line than most artists would be able to do with an entire album.
My brother had a daughter. Beauty that she brings, illumination.
Number 7, To Be Alone With You. In interviews, Stevens has been careful not to say too much about his Christianity or any song's meaning, leaving it up to the audience to interpret.
I swim across Lake Michigan. I sell my shoes.
Whether you interpret this song about being in love with someone or about his relationship with Jesus, it's one of Stevens' most powerful songs.
To be alone with you. To be alone with you.
What's readily apparent is that he's singing about the sacrifices a person will make for love, a universally relatable message. Repeating the hook, "To be alone with you," drives home that message of sacrifice and devotion.
I've never known a man who loved me.
Number 6, Chicago. The centerpiece of his Illinois album, Chicago isn't really about the city, but rather the narrator's journey of finding himself.
I fell in love again. All things go, all things go. Drove to Chicago.
One of Stevens' more up-tempo songs, in it he explores the freedom of getting up and leaving a place that is no longer good for you. He's jubilant as he sings about letting go of possessions and letting go of past mistakes.
I made a lot of mistakes. You came to take us. All things go, all things go.
The youth choir that accompanies him tangibly adds the feeling of freedom that his lyrics evoke. Stevens has said that it's semi-autobiographical, and that lived experience comes through. Number 5, Mystery of Love.
Oh, to see without my eyes, the first time that you kissed me.
Stevens crafted 2 gorgeous songs for the Call Me By Your Name soundtrack, and while visions of Gideon played an important role in the film's finale scene, it's Mystery of Love that captured the essence of it.
Cursed by the love that I receive from my brother's daughter.
The song isn't directly about the film characters, with references to Oregon making it fit in with the narratives on his Carrie and Lowell album. But by making it personal to him, the song became a universal exclamation of the beauty and wonder of falling in love.
Blackbird on my shoulder.
Exquisite details, like birthmarks on shoulders, make the song intimate and convey his amazement of being with his lover.
Oh, will wonders ever cease? Blessed be the mystery of love.
Number 4, Casimir Pulaski Day. The song takes its name from a holiday in Illinois that was created in honor of Casimir Pulaski, a Polish-born military officer who helped the U.S. Army during the Revolutionary War.
Goldenrod and the 4-H stone, the things I brought you when I found out you had cancer of the bone.
But this song isn't about him, but rather Stevens' friend who died of cancer on that day of the year. As always, his lyrics are powerful storytelling. He recalls praying over her that the cancer would go away, only for the whole process to be futile.
Tuesday night at the Bible study, we lift our hands and pray over your body, but nothing ever happens.
It's an honest crisis of faith and offers a safe space for listeners to investigate their own relationship with God. With lines like, "I'm crying in the bathroom," it's hard not to relate.
All the glory when he took our place, but he took my shoulders and he shook my face, and he takes and he takes and he takes.
Number 3, Impossible Soul. It's understandable to perhaps be put off by a song that clocks in at around 25 minutes, but from the start of this one, it's clear that time is worth it.
Oh, I couldn't sing, I would sing it all my life.
As the closing song on the album, Stevens wanted to make sure he left an impression on the listener. Divided into 5 different parts, the song morphs and twists from despair to hopeful about looking to the brighter side of life.
It wasn't safe to breathe at all.
Shara Warden accompanies him at various points, and her voice adds an otherworldly counterpoint. The whole experience is an audio journey that feels like falling down the rabbit hole, only to come out in Wonderland. Number 2, For the Widows in Paradise, for the Fatherless in Ypsilanti. Inspired by a trip to Paradise, Michigan, where Stevens noticed the town was seemingly devoid of men, he created a narrative that the town was like something of a paradise for the women who were all made widows when their husbands died in war.
I have called you children, I have called you son.
While there's not a literal translation of that idea in the song, there is a sense of both mourning and joy in the lyrics. That repetition of the line, "I'll do anything for," brings to mind the sacrifices people make in everyday life to protect loved ones.
I will do anything for you.
The lush female harmonies give the song more depth and make that refrain even more poignant.
I did everything for you. I did everything for you.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
And the people bowed and prayed. This is the age of us, eternal living.
Number 1, John Wayne Gacy Jr.
His father was a drinker, and his mother cried in bed.
Quite the unusual subject for a song. John Wayne Gacy Jr. tells the story of the infamous serial killer of Illinois, who dressed up like a clown to get access to young boys, 33 of whom he sexually assaulted and murdered in the 1970s.
Even more, they were boys with their cars, summer jobs, oh my God.
In this soft and gentle song, Sufjan explores Gacy's backstory, from childhood to his status as a popular performer in town.
He dressed up like a clown for them, with his face paint white and red.
The lyrics are deeply haunting, particularly the last hook where he compares his own hidden secrets to what Gacy was capable of. But it's the anguish in his voice as he sings, "Oh my God," that's so overwhelmingly arresting. It will stay with you long after a listen.
And in my best behavior, I am really just like him.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.
Get alive, get alive, get alive, get alive.